Floss Tube.
Hello.
Welcome to Crafty Cottage Stitches. I'm Heather.
I'm Jeanette.
And today is January 28th, I believe.
Sure.
And yep, this is our channel about cross stitch and quilting and embroidery and sewing and crochet and all kinds of stuff and what we've been working on lately.
Yeah.
Excuse my voice. I'm a little ill from my child. Just preschool cold going around, but we're getting better.
I'm just exhausted.
Yeah.
So excuse me if I'm not very energetic today.
So,
we want me to start?
yeah.
I have a finish. We always start with cross stitch first. Such as that is. Sometimes there's more than other times. I'm sorry, I'm getting in. What the heck are these called? Sorry.
Project board
out. I had to finish.
You're a mess.
Yeah, my glasses just fell. We had to squeeze ourselves over here because I've rearranged everything in here. So this is all the room we have until the new room's done. But I finished my Merry Christmas. This is Merry Christmas by Abby Rose Designs, I believe. I've shown the pattern the last couple times. I've already shipped it off to a friend, so there we go. All done. I have not decided how I want to do this yet. It's kind of a different size, so I think I am going to make it into a pillow. What do you think?
I like the size of it for a pillow.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to try. So I'm going to hopefully have this done next time. I had to go out of town for work, so that kind of set me off, and I didn't quite get some things done, but it's really pretty.
There's frogs going on.
Yeah, and we have frogs.
If you hear that.
They've been going all night long. Yeah.
We have weird warm weather right now. It's a high of 63 today.
Yeah, it's muggy, so sorry if we're like sweating here. I had 2 starts. Did you cross stitch? Or
just this,
that one?
Yeah.
Okay. I had 2 starts. I started on
it's so pretty.
green roses. And actually, if you Google this, because you're going to fall in love with it like I did when I saw it stitched, I think you can find the PDF of it. I'm actually stitching this with a friend, and she did find the PDF. I'm not sure where. You'll just have to Google it and search it.
Who's it by?
It's French. So.
Oh.
You should be able to find it. But, oh, it's so pretty. So this is what I've done so far. Kind of a leap from my normal colors, but there's a reason, because I told you guys about the Melissa Gilbert fabric from Modern Prairie. A Walk on the Prairie, which, I am just in love with that fabric. But these are a lot of the colors in there. So I am stitching this to go in my bedroom for when that beautiful fabric comes out. So I'm using just DMC 224, and I love it. It's so pretty. I love roses. So there's that. That's one start. And the other one's not a huge start, but I did start it nonetheless. I started this one. I'm completely changing up the colors, so they're gonna not. And it's funny because I actually had the 224 pulled for that. I wanted it a little bit more washed out than the colors on here.
That's Bees and Birds Sewing Roll by Stacy Nash.
Yeah. Just had a tomato go rolling. And I am stitching this on 36 count because that's what it calls for. I actually have some other 36 count that I'm ordering too. And that's the start I have. I'm changing all the colors. So if you do want to know as I get along, I will write them down. I'm stitching everything in DMC, so. And there's a reason why I picked, this is antique white, which I do not normally stitch on, but I'll grab the fabric. Hold on a second.
Oh, that's right, because you're actually making it into a sewing roll,
I am
right?
making it into a sewing roll.
Oh, you're doing that one?
So I'm doing it, this is the fabric that I want it to go with, so I'm kind of matching the colors for that, which is so pretty. This is Etchings by
Three Sisters
and someone else, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the name.
It's for
kind of
the
collab.
For a Cause.
Yeah, it's For a Cause.
Yeah.
But it'll be really pretty with that. in the sewing roll. So that is that. I started, in fact, is it on here? No.
Same color?
I had started the every opening flower, actually started with some friends one night, all the ladies that were stitching it together. So I did start it, but this is 40 count. And I've come to a conclusion with Brenda Gervais, with I needle colors on, for me, they don't go because they're not meant to go on white. And I think that's just when she designs her chart, she designs them to go on like tans and beiges and things like that. And so when I'm trying to use her colors on a white, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah,
to
it
me.
looked weird.
And so, yeah, they looked off, right? But I've seen it stitched and it's gorgeous, but people are using tans. So I have ordered 36 count white, so it has more of a washed out look, and I'm going to have to change all the colors. So I'm having to rethink what I was doing, because I was like, oh, I'll just do called for, it'll be easy. Well, it would be easy if I used tans and beiges and stuff, but I don't. So I stitch on white. Ordinarily, and I've got antique white going here, but so I'm going to switch up the colors and restart that. So, and that's with my needle chart. So I'll show you hopefully next time. I'll have a new start on that.
How many colors is in it that you have to switch out?
Like 8 or 10, I
it's
think.
not too
No,
bad.
it's not bad. It's not bad. But I'll be happier with it.
I worked a little bit on this guy that we had a dear friend send us. It's a printed cross stitch, and it's my first time doing a printed cross stitch, and I thought, oh, that'll be just like super easy. I mean, it's not hard, but it's not like as I just put it down there. I don't know. It's not as mindless as I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a good nighttime activity, and it's really not. Because there's a lot of sorry, I just worked on a few of the strawberries, but there's multiple colors in here, so I have to figure out, and all of the printed is the same color, so I have to actually go in and figure out in the pattern, which is
They do give you a chart
not
for
an
that.
easy pattern to look at, really.
No.
I can show you because it doesn't.
Yeah, they're not even
You're not going to be able to get anything out of it. Like they're like colored over each other to show where various colors are. So you do kind of have to have good light and be able to see that.
It'll be
and
nice,
it's also
though.
like tight fabric, so it's not just like there's holes there for you already. You have to kind of find.
Because come to find out, this was started by our friend. So I told her, I said, well, now it's going to be
thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be extra special. So Heather
Yeah.
and her both will have worked on it.
Though it is fun to do. It's different. It's kind of like embroidery, honestly.
It is. It was kind of that in-between thing.
Right, but you do have to be able to see and kind of focus on it. So that's all I did for
embroidery.
stitch.
Your cross
embroidery.
stitch. Well, I did finish my embroidery I was working on. I don't have the buttons on here yet because I just honestly I had it sitting down on the table and I forgot I needed to put buttons on it.
Are you gonna put like antique ones?
Yeah. So it's all stitched. Not sure about the frame size yet, so I'll have to kind of look into that. Go through my stash of frames, but it'll be cute hanging on the wall.
Or we make it ourselves. I found the coolest product online the other day and I almost ordered it.
Really?
It's what are they called? Miter shears. They're like scissors that cut through. You can even cut like baseboard trim with them.
Really?
They have.
I have
yeah.
a miter saw that you bought me though.
Well, yeah, but this is
Okay.
literally
I'll check
like
it
someone
out.
said it's like cutting through butter, and it has like a little plate on it, and it has like the measurements of the angle, and you just line up your piece of wood on it and you cut through it, and people make like frames and stuff with them. So
We'll let you know.
yeah.
But anyway, that's all done. It's cute. Well, I mean 3 buttons, I think. Probably 3 or 4 buttons down there. So this was fun. It got me into embroidery again, that's for sure. In fact, this morning I am finished embroidering
Perfect.
my stocking. I might add something else in here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't call for it, and
Another
it didn't
little
call
sprig.
for this over here. It had one going down here, and I did it. You couldn't even see it, and it just looked like red little flecks, so I took that out. So we'll see. Actually, it looks better in person than on there. But that is buttermilk basin.
I moved it somewhere up there.
Oh. Where?
That, or I took it in the other room.
I don't know. It's buttermilk basin. I've shown it several times as I was working on it. And I do have the frame for this, and it's gonna just be perfect. I was trying to get it done, but here's the frame I'm putting it in. And it's going to be so pretty. And it's really not bothering me to work on Christmas at all, which is kind of nice, because I thought, well, I have this plan to do that. Then I thought, well, is it gonna annoy me to work on Christmas still? It's not, actually. It's just finishing up these old projects that's been kind of nice. So, not that this is that old, but normally what I would do is I've worked on this and now Christmas is over, so I would put it away. It would end up in a basket and
it wouldn't
done.
come out next Christmas
Yeah,
necessarily.
And then it's like, I'm okay. I don't need to do that. So that was that. What else you got going?
I did a ton of crocheting.
I did a little bit.
Like a ton. So last time, I think I had 5 of my granny squares done. I quadrupled that. I now
Yeah,
have
you did.
20 done.
Oh, and they're so pretty.
Woven in, and I've got a bunch of babies going too.
Good job.
I just sat, like yesterday, Eddie took a bath, and I just sat in there and worked on grannies.
Oops, I slipped. Sorry.
All kinds of granny squares going here.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm determined to get this done soonish. I figure 8 weeks total. I'm hoping less than that.
8 weeks is a good goal for a granny square blankie. We're actually going to try to film it when we're done here and tack it on at the end, me doing the join, because a lot of people said that they are very visual, and to put that into words is hard. This is what I was trying to
I don't
tell
think we're
you.
going to tack it on at the end, though. Aren't we going to do it as a separate video?
Are we?
I think so.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever she wants to do.
So yeah, I worked on these guys, and I absolutely love them. They're just
They're
adorable.
beautiful.
I'm using the Hobby Lobby I Love Cotton in a couple different colors. And I started them as a Christmas, but I just love them for all the time. They're just fun colors. So.
I think they're just fun colors.
Yeah, they'll look really cool out at Christmas time too, but... And then after this one, I kind of already have plans for my next one.
They're kind of addicting.
Yeah, I thought it would be fun to do one in Lions colors for my husband. And then do a smaller one in Seahawks colors for Abby.
Or you can make one for your dad.
That's for you to do.
Seahawks colors.
Well, what would you do?
Oh, I want to do just vintagey colors.
Oh, well, yeah.
Just vintagey colors for the craft room side. We are moving along on that. Or I should say my husband's room is pretty much, only has a few more things to do. We need to put a board up and hang his curtains, and his side's done. But
now it's a matter of getting your side done.
Yeah, my husband's been sick for like 2 months, so just to have the energy to do anything, and plus I had to go out of town to work, so. But we're getting there.
In life. I mean, we had like that ice storm and...
Yeah, I had to finish.
Okay.
Finished with this one. It's now hanging in my bedroom. Yeah, it's just a corner to corner. It's really soft and warm and cuddly. At first, I wasn't sure about the yarn, just because I think the hook size I used was a little bit not appropriate for this yarn, even though that's what it called for. I mean, I think it's very, very dense.
Did it like peel it apart or something?
No.
Oh.
No, it just, to me was a little thick. I mean, it's a little thick, so it could have been, maybe I'm a tight crocheter, I'm not sure.
I'm a very tight crocheter.
If you use this, I would really check your hook size to see if you like the finished result. But it turned out really pretty.
What those
It's
yarn is that big
It's the big old
pound
giant
of love
skein.
or whatever.
It's nice. It is a pound of love.
Yeah.
I think. I just wish I had used a bigger hook so it would have a little bit less. I mean, you can barely see my hand through it, but it's warm and cozy. So.
Well, don't you want it to be nice and thick?
I do. If I was remember, this was just gonna hang on my blanket ladder. Basically.
Oh,
it's just,
yeah, that's a bit heavy.
It's thick and heavy, but which is wonderful if you want it on your couch. Yeah, but it's good. It's all good. It's wonderful and it's done. So I need to pull out were they Starburst or Sunburst? Starburst grannies made out of the brown, the cream.
The one you started as like the sunflower one.
And spa, I think, yeah. So that will be what I pull out next to work on and get moving on that.
My mom bought me something cool when we were homesick for me and Evie to work on. Some pom-pom maker.
I wanted to buy it at Christmas, but
they were.
I couldn't find it in the store.
I think it's kind of popular right now. I think
maybe. Well, yarn crafts, period, are very, very.
So I played around with it with Evie. I made a little pink and red, and you can barely see it on there because it's like blindingly neon. Just a little one to tie in her hair for Valentine's Day. I thought would be cute.
That'll be very cute.
And then these ones are for today for the Lions game to put in pigtails. She's willing to do that because the Seahawks are no longer playing right now.
But she's still a Seahawks fan?
Absolutely. Okay. She told me the other night, she was like, I said, well, we want the Lions to win. And she was like, no, we don't. I want the Seahawks to win. I'm like, well, the Seahawks aren't playing. And she's like, okay, if the Seahawks aren't playing anymore, then I can support the Lions. But if they are, I'm like, I know. And then I tested out a few, making some hearts.
That is so
that's crazy bright.
Crazy bright.
It's
not orange metallic-y looking at all. It is pink.
These are 3 pom-poms glued together and shaped. They're funky. They turned out kind of funky, but they're fun for her to play with. And then this one is one giant one that I made and shaped. Those frogs are really amping up their rivets out there.
That is crazy, the color that you guys are seeing.
Yeah.
That's how neon it is.
This is a hobby craft yarn. Just their
Where
acrylic
are they
one.
out of? Netherlands?
I think so. I ordered from them a couple winters ago.
Yeah.
I don't think it was last winter. I think it was the one before, right?
Yeah.
And got it really quick, and I like their stuff.
Yeah.
I ordered like a variety of things. So it's kind of fun just to use a pom-pom maker to go through some of your stash and test it out. I feel like they turn out a lot better with like a nice acrylic. They get fluffier.
More the inexpensive.
Yeah, the cheaper kinds.
I figured she could have fun and
she just loves picking out the
blow through some of her yarn.
Yeah,
stash.
picking out the colors, and I made a couple more at home. She wanted me to do a Halloween one, an Earth Day one, and that one turned out really cool too.
Yeah,
couple different
that
blues.
one was really cute.
Yeah, and I've just tested out like trimming them down more and all of that. So I kind of went down a rabbit hole on Pinterest the other night on.
I figured that's what she would do. I had seen, I think Lori Holt had showed in her pillows. Yeah, must have been one of her pillow tutorials. They had the pom-poms on the corners,
yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's cute, because that would be really cute in Evie's room. But that was like before Christmas I saw it, and I went to get it, and didn't get it. So
I eventually want to get to that. These aren't like super tight. That is an issue I've had with it, and I've watched some tutorials. Like, you can pull these out fairly. I mean, that took some tugging, but like on a pillow, you kind of don't want them to be that way necessarily. I mean, I don't know. We're not rough with our pillows.
No.
But I found a lady on YouTube that her husband suggested using zip ties. So I did order, I mean, zip ties cost like no money. I ordered tiny zip ties and I just got them in the mail. So I'm going to test that out a little bit. She wanted to do that because she was making things for like a memory care place, like doing fidget things. And so she didn't want them obviously pulling out thread and or putting it in their mouth or anything, but I kind of want it so I can have like a keychain on a backpack for her, and it's not gonna, but then again, it's not that big of a deal. It's a pom-pom, so.
Mm-hmm. But they're cute and fun, and you can.
There's a.
I really want you to make me like a banner.
Yeah.
What would they be called? Garland. A garland with them.
There's a guy on YouTube. I think his YouTube is Pom Pom Wonderland.
See, we share a YouTube, and
yeah.
so now I'm like,
everything
okay,
pom-pom.
So everything pom-pom's coming up. So
he makes
I haven't seen him yet.
Crazy stuff out of pom-poms, and like is very detailed, like in the descriptions, because it's a different language, but he types it out in languages on the screen. Yeah, the frog's getting closer, I think.
Kermit. It's really warm in here, though. We have to keep the windows open. In January.
I know.
We're normally...
I told Mac to open the windows when I left.
Yeah, it's like terrible.
So yeah, I might be making some funny things out of pom-poms for fun.
I crocheted. So...
You tell that and I'll be right back.
All right. So I, for my Valentine's basket, I decided I needed to have a pink tomato. So I I only actually have the bodies done. I'll show you if you're new here. So I crochet these little pincushion tomatoes. So I decided I needed a pink one for my Valentine's basket. So I got that done. Kind of ran out of time. Oops! They just rolled away. But I actually made 3 more.
You're gonna grab
for
them?
that
She
too.
made red ones.
They win.
They look like, I told her they look like juggling balls.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll grab them.
Now my ear's clogged. Apologies.
So I did this one night. They're no joke. They take a little bit. They're not perfect, but I'm getting better at it because you just have to do it so dang tight.
They're hard on your hands. Like
they are
holding them.
And once you start closing them up, they take a little. They're not hard at all. It's just a matter of when you work on your tension for years. But on this, you got to pull it down as tight as you could possibly get it. So it's tough on my old lady hands. So I have 3 I'm making for somebody, and then me, the pink one. So there is that.
And then you have to do the little strawberries for them, right?
Yeah, and those won't take any time. But then I put a button on them, and I do a few other things to it. So just to kind of make it my own. But they're cute, and let me show you who the pattern is by. Heather's got a Lions game to get to, so...
Not until 3. I'm not going to it, obviously.
Well, no, but...
I'm not in that much of a
that
rush.
says the website, right? Right up here?
Yep.
There is the website.
Carabouts.typepad.com.
Very, very good directions. If you're new.
Carabouts.
So there it is. Go to her website. It's a crochet tomato.
And that's a free pattern?
It's a free pattern. I found it on Pinterest. I'll show you the picture you're going to see pop up.
You probably could just type in crochet tomato pink.
That's all I did on Pinterest. But a lot of people,
too.
they feel less comfortable about that. So
yeah,
this is what you're going to see pop up. I did it very, very beginning. I think I did. In fact, my first one was inside out because I didn't even know. Heather was in Michigan.
Is that this one down here?
Yeah, the weird one.
It's smaller.
It's
for sure.
I don't know. I use the same size.
Yeah, because we were learning amigurumi, and honestly, the first amigurumi I did was a ball about this size.
Yeah,
that's kind of where you start out, so it's kind
like,
of perfect to
I can
teach
do
you.
this.
Yeah.
So I had done. Did I do a strawberry first? I don't think I did. I think I.
You did the cat ball.
No, I did that after.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I thought, okay, I really need to learn to see what I'm doing. So Yeah, so, and what I didn't know after I started watching videos that mine was inside out.
And you flip them at a certain
if
point.
you don't pull it super, super duper tight, your stuffing kind of shows through, but this was my first one and I'm going to hang on to it.
It's way smaller.
I use the same hook.
Yeah, we can't figure out
I'm
how that
not
happened.
sure.
Or maybe you skipped a few rows.
I could have. The only thing I'm going to say about amigurumi, when you are doing it, mark your rows. Absolutely, you cannot remember. I've been crocheting forever. Yeah. And
mark your stitches too when it tells you to.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Mark your stitch.
Oh.
But also tick off every row that you've done because you are not going to remember because you're going around.
Right.
I keep a running tally on
like
a piece of paper.
a little notebook, yeah.
And if you do that, not too bad. So
and she also, didn't you have a trick where if like you got interrupted in the middle, I
always end on a certain stitch. So if it says to single crochet then decrease, I will always end on a decrease, so then it doesn't matter because you count at the end anyway.
Yeah.
Now that I've confused everybody, but I
just always, like if she wasn't like Dad had a question or something, she would stop on it. Yeah, so she'd stop. It's like when I mop, and in fact I did this the other day, and like the mop came out. Matt had come out of his office one day, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna mop, real quick. And then of course I'm mopping, and then I hear him like shuffling in his office, and the door opens, and I'm like, and I look at him, he's like. Yeah, I come out.
Well, if you have to. It's
Whatever.
The same thing. So I make sure I always end. Most of them are just the same stitch around, but when you get to certain rows, when you're decreasing or increasing, I make sure I end. I'll ignore whoever's talking to me or whatever, or my phone until I finish that decrease. Because you can't tell. If you're pulling it super tight like that, you can't see. You cannot see what it is, which is the whole purpose of it when you do like invisible stitches. But
unless of course you're like you have the printed out pattern and you can mark off right where you're at. But a lot of times it has you repeat. It just says go back to that's true. Go back to the bracket.
So I just don't do that.
This sounds crazy, but it's really not.
I didn't think Heather, learned how to crochet and then 5 seconds later was making tomatoes, and I was always intimidated by anything shaped.
And that was after I told my mom, you can just take all my yarn, and if you want my hooks, take them, because I freaking hate crocheting. I hated it.
And now we're obsessed with it.
But it was a matter of me finding, like, the right tutorial for it to finally, like, make sense.
And then she jumped right into making critters, which
Yeah. Chickens.
Yeah, so
chickens. It's really fun.
So if you know your basic stitches, you can do it.
I want to get back into making. I was telling her the other day.
And if it doesn't work out, you just pull it out and roll it back up into a ball. So.
That's what I keep telling Abby, because she gets so upset with herself when she's drawing and she'll, mess something up. I'm like, you got to be, like, nice to yourself when you're creating. I'm like, you don't ever hear me stomping and throwing a fit. In my head, maybe.
No,
like, when I mess something up, but... She's like quilting and stuff. I'm just like, well, that's
She's probably
stupid.
a little bit more of a perfectionist, kind of like
very
her
much
grandmother.
So. Very much.
But I don't ever say that to her, and I would never. No, we encourage her to be
so into drawing right now, and it's crazy some of the things she draws. So she's very creative.
But I'm also not one to not. That one I didn't do the. But also I didn't really. What am I going to make a doll for? Because I'm not. If you guys were younger, I would have tried it.
Make a doll.
But now I'm like, why am I going to make them for my grandkids? So.
Or your baskets or whatever. Yeah, I want to make food. There's some food that I want to make for her because I think it'd be fun to have for Play Kitchen and, for Emerson in the future, or,
Did you see that picture I sent you? With the lady that made the refrigerator full of food.
Yeah,
she made the refrigerator and everything. It was
the refrigerator's crocheted. It's the size of an actual like mini fridge, and inside is stock full of play food that she crocheted. That I'm not gonna do.
And butter and
because I've got too many projects I need to do. I can't be working my whole life on crocheting eggs, but it's super cute.
So I made some granny squares for my basket.
She did, and they're super cute.
They are super
cute. But I
couldn't
get off track of my granny squares.
No. But I mean, these were like just a little small side row. Yeah. So I made this one. And it'll go in.
Perfection.
It's so cute. Well, I copied yours. on bigger size. I just put this one together this morning. I had a migraine yesterday, so I wasn't able to finish, but I put all white on the back. And then I made...
So dang cute.
It's so cute.
Excuse me.
This one. And I love the fact that they're exactly the same, but just where you put your colors changes.
Makes such a huge
difference. Just changes up everything, doesn't it? I found this is just a little heart. It's not perfect, but that's okay.
You honestly could use the strawberry applique patterns that we do. Is that what you did?
No, but that's what I wanted to do, but Heather hadn't given me my strawberry yet.
I texted it to you, the pattern.
No, I wanted it made, and then I was going to put it on there.
But then you said just text me the pattern.
Well, yeah, because I thought
you
I
should
would
have told
do
me
it.
you decided not to, because I have some already made up. They're plain, that don't have the seeds or anything on them.
Yeah, I was going to put a little strawberry on here, but I'll just make another one and do that.
Those strawberries take like 3 minutes.
Because my friend, this does too. This does too. And you don't
Not
see
even.
that it's a heart until the very last. It's on Pinterest. Just do. It's weird the way you do it. You're doing all these stitches, and then the very last chain you stick it in. It's like, oh, it is a heart, because I really didn't think it was going to be a heart, but
It's kind of like the greens
then
on
I
the
did.
strawberry, the Raft Moose's strawberry. You're
I
doing the
really
greens
was
and you're
just-
like, what am I doing? And then it comes together at the
the
end.
tomatoes the same way
Yeah.
too. But I put that on
Trust the
back.
process.
Yeah, this is definitely trust the process. And then I just stitched it down with red thread, because this is
very cute.
Riley Red. It's the chunky threads from Lori Holt. This is Peony and Cloud. So they look super cute together. I have
They
some
really do.
heart pins to stick in them. But like I said, they're almost done. They have a tail, but I'll
They're
leave
very
that
cute.
in. I like them. And they're going to go in the basket with, I want to show you the basket I found.
I saw a cool idea, or you show your basket first. It's a granny square idea.
It's just a biscuit basket.
Pardon?
That's what I call it.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's a bread basket or a biscuit basket to me. I found it at the Goodwill. We call it the Goodwill. But it'll be cute. I actually
Very cute.
keep my jar of tomatoes I set in here. And the reason I switched out, this fits perfect on my windowsill. And you can kind of see until I get more made up for the other, basket. I don't have a lot of stuff made up, and I want to make some other different things too. Not just pillows. Well,
It's true. I have like a trough, like a
Yeah.
magnolia trough.
Yeah, so it'll be cute. I found this at the Goodwill. Okay, I found it at the Goodwill for like $1.99, I think. Then I went to an antique store yesterday. They were selling them for like $16. These are $1.99,
In Portland.
and you see them all the time at Goodwill.
And our Goodwills are really expensive, so
Yeah.
that's a good deal on those.
But they're cute, and they fit they're really narrow. They fit in a windowsill
Well,
very
I
well.
want one if you see them all the time.
Okay.
I actually have a
saw
round
like
one. I have a
yesterday.
round one that's white. I painted it white.
Yeah.
I have it in my
Sorry if
windowsill.
you hear my husband. He's been sick
Coughing his
forever.
guts out.
Apparently, moving diagonal, I can still hear him very well in here.
I think mine was a planter. Maybe you gave it to me, or it was a white one. But I use it now on my windowsill behind my sewing machine. It's just a little garbage can. I just put my like threads and things in it.
Is it just like this, the leaf stuff?
Yeah, it's
I
like
kinda-
it's more enclosed on the bottom, and then the top is woven like that. I think. I actually don't have it in my windowsill right now because my cat.
Well, and that's
gets
the
into
thing.
stuff,
I can see everything in here too. I was hoping to have
That's
some
true.
hearts
You can
done.
see through
yeah,
it. It's really
kinda
cute.
and it sits next to my sewing machine. So what I did is I opened up my sewing machine table because I had
Excuse me.
has a back on it, but I really couldn't utilize it because I mean it is hard to pull out. So I thought, now that we're gonna have another room over there to hang out in, I don't need to have a chair
You
in
can
here.
quilt your own stuff.
Yeah.
You can start to
Theoretically.
Yeah.
So, and that's what it's for, so you can do that. So now we're utilizing the center of the room too. And so I'm going to have a little ironing station next to me.
Yeah. more spots for
and I'm
decoration.
actually using this whole room now. It just now we're
It
shoved
just
up
feels
against
better,
the-
even though it's like
It
not
has a
even
good vibe.
completely.
I've been
Yeah,
up here a lot.
it's like the vibe in your old one.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it feels really good.
The idea I saw for granny squares yesterday on Instagram was a lady had like remnants of yarn, or like sometimes you just end up with like a pile of yarn. It's not like rolled up, and she's like, I'm not gonna roll all of these into individual little balls because it would take forever, and she'd rather be crocheting. So what she did instead is the magic knot. Have you ever seen that? The way that they attach yarn to yarn. It's the way they do it in like a skein if they've attached another end to it. And so then it's a scrappy one, but it's really scrappy, as in like you just continue crocheting. You don't have ends to weave in, and it's just all the colors in the rounds.
That's kind of cool.
So she did a magic knot, and then she did wind them eventually, but then it's just one winding instead of, a million winding.
I'm kind of
And I have a wad of yarn right now.
a wad.
A wad.
Oh, I do.
I had
them
a
as
cat
I go.
incident with yarn, so
Oh,
I don't
that's
want to
right.
talk about it. I had to wash yarn and some tights. It was a total pain in the butt, and I only had one pair of tights in the house, and so then I was like, oh, I'll just throw some in some leggings, but it was too loose, and so things came unwound, and now I have a wad of yarn and a really old cat. I love her to death, but my God.
Yeah, she's a tough
It
one.
was almost death that day. She was loved too. She's beautiful, and everybody says that online.
Oh, she's cute.
She's
as can be.
my
She's
princess.
just-
I've had her for 15 years, and I love her like my own skin child, I say, but sometimes, man. I forgot to tell you what I did yesterday. I ordered tap lights because she's so old. She has a hard time seeing at night, or at least I think, because she comes and like wakes us up.
I think there's.
I take her to the
reasons behind
bathroom
it.
sometimes at night so she doesn't have any accidents. And I also take her to her bowl because she just had a urinary tract infection, so she lost a bunch of weight, and we thought we were going to lose her, but she's fattened up again. But like she can't find her bowl, so I have her own like little tap light by her bowls now. It's up on the cabinets because I'm going to replace the cabinet, so I just like taped it up there and I tap it on so it's on at night so she can see her food.
Whatever works, man.
Oh, Mac's like, I swear, everything that we've done for this cat, she's his princess too. So
Yeah, she's cute. She's obnoxious, but she's like one of the originals we had.
I've had her my whole adult life.
Yeah.
She's been cross country.
I had 3
multiple times
She
cross
had
country.
3, and then the only ones left are Ava and my oldest daughter's Nikki, and they're old.
Nikki's the same age, yeah.
Yeah, so
Ava's 16 and she's always had urinary issues, so it's a matter of just like we've tried out so many foods, and right now she's on these old lady packets that like are high calorie, and that's why she wakes up at night because she wants more of those. Now she'll probably just have like a coronary because she's just like fat and eating like foie gras every night. Okay, I did some sewing.
I did a little bit.
Okay, well, we're going to pause for a second.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back with sewing.
Yeah. Well, there's gotta be some.
Hello.
Oh,
We're back.
we're back, I guess.
We were talking about football. I'm sure there's...
I can hear
Interesting
yelling
fans out
out there, so I'm assuming they're cheering for
Maybe
somebody.
they're telling the frogs to shut up.
Well, it sounded like a woohoo or something. So I don't know. I did sewing. Do you want me to show first?
Yeah.
Since you have yours is cooler.
It's not.
I started a crochet bag.
Oh, that's so
I
cute.
thought for sure I would have this done, but I had a migraine.
You went out of town, too.
Yeah. So this is the front of that. I tried some zigzaggy quilting on it. Kind of got off a little bit, but I didn't care. But it's cute. It's going to hold my crochet hooks, so I'll have this finished. Probably going to work on this afternoon because that sounds like fun. And then I made... What the heck was that? Oh, I made this one to do...
Binding, maybe?
It's a little bit squarer bag, a little bit bigger. As I finished the fabrics when I was doing that quilt, I cut them in 2.5-inch squares, so it was really kind of easy to do. But so this is going to be another bag, and it's going to hold. Because Heather made one, I had to make one. I made a little pin cushion.
because we're gonna do big quilting on that.
Yeah.
I thought a little quilt kit for it would be cute.
So it'll fit really cute in here. And then I have a box that I put my scissors in so they don't jab through anything, and it'll hold the thread, and then I'll be able to do the needles on here. I did a kind of a modified log cabin. I just put an extra side on it, so kind of did that, but I didn't want it square. I kind of wanted it like Heather's was. Hers is real long and skinny, but and so
I just went with it on that one. I just winged it.
Well, I kind of did.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I lost track of where I was. I don't know what I didn't really have any plans. I just started putting them together. But it turned out cute. This fabric is fabulous. So
it is.
Yeah. So it'll be cute in there. And I'll have a cute little bag too. I'll probably just use the little tiny gingham on the back. And probably in the middle too. But also this will be big enough to when I'm done with the quilt in like 12 years. To put like a little stitchery or something, or an embroidery. It's big enough for that, so it'll be cute. They're fun. I love quilting these little baby quilts. So
I made a Valentine's pincushion.
that's
Kind of
so
silly
cute.
on there. I started, and I'll show you in a minute, that quilt that I was making. Well, I had some half square triangles. It uses a stacker, but it only needed 40 of them. And I think mine ended up coming with 44. Is that normal? I thought it was like 40 or 42, but I had extras.
I don't think there's a normal necessarily. Okay. It's just one of each of the line.
Yeah. So and it had doubles of like 2 of them, I think. So I think that's probably how I ended up with extra.
So then I would imagine that we would have 42.
44. Unless I put my quilt together and it's totally wrong. Who knows? But so far it's equaling out right. And I've counted a million times.
They were probably, maybe they accidentally put a couple extra in.
So I had a bunch of half square triangles of it that were left over, and so I wanted to make a pincushion out of one of them. And I just pulled from my scraps some
poppy cotton?
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
The back? No. This is Notting Hill.
Oh, okay.
I just did like a panel of 1.5 inch squares and sewed them together, traced a heart, and did a little applique on it, and then I just machine quilted it. It's kind of funky, artsy fartsy looking. And then the back
cute.
Is open still. I need to stitch that up and cover it, but it's just a Notting Hill charm pack that I had. And those little pins are ones I made a while ago.
I forgot how much I loved that fabric. It's very poppy cottonish.
It really is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Super cute.
That's my Valentine pie.
Oh, I see that. Let's see how those look in mine.
The half square triangles were, they were 5 inches to begin with. I cut that down to 4 inches. I think, yeah, to make it that size, just to match the heart that I had made. And then I had this guy that I made while we were on. What?
They're cute in there.
Oh, the pins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have extras.
Okay.
I made this guy when we were on floss tube break out of some scraps that I have, and I want to plan for something with this. Maybe on a bag or something would be cute.
I think it'll be very cute.
I just pulled some aquas. I don't remember what I was. I think I was just going with it. Yeah. Maybe that's why I was testing out. I did zigzag with machine on the front.
So you basically attach them with the machine?
Yes.
Okay.
They're paper pieced. No, these are the iron-on ones that I didn't want to use like in a quilt because they only partially wash away. And so I think I was just, testing them out or whatever.
That's cute.
And I zigzagged them together. So I'll probably make a project out of that coming up soon.
So the heart pin cushions for your heart for January.
Yes. The biggest thing that I've been working on is the windmill quilt that I showed you guys with the lighthearted. I have been making these. And I've been having a really good time. It's a really kind of intense quilt, honestly. And it's not perfect, so don't look too closely at it, but I don't care.
It's perfectly homemade.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that fabric right there.
No.
That's
I actually have some of that. I think I have a fat quarter of that too.
okay.
This was pretty intense prep, honestly. But very repetitive, so it was kind of nice. A lot of it was that I had that white fabric that I really needed. Like, I had to rewash it because it was so wrinkled. I couldn't even get the wrinkles out of it. But it was like 5 yards of it. I have a couple different white on whites in there.
I like that look though when it's scrappy white on whites.
This fabric is my favorite.
The green.
This.
On
And the
that
green
too.
too, yeah.
Oh, that green is wonderful.
This is going to be a big quilt.
It's gonna be quite large.
I was kind of shocked once I started putting them together how big.
And that fabric. I'm into the little calico-y like prints right now. Maybe it's because it's kind of Valentine.
It's kind of Valentine. These are the
springy.
Valentine colors that I have. And then I have all of these that just need to be made into blocks now and then sew it together.
Good job.
This one actually like broke my back for a little bit. It was like, because it was a lot of cutting, a lot of ironing, a lot of just, each step took a really long time, but I just like would do it. Like I would take 2 days to mark them all and cut them all, and I've had a nice routine with it, but probably should be done pretty quickly, but it's taken a lot of time.
Are you
And
gonna?
that's-
How are you gonna quilt that? Are you gonna do it or?
I think I'm going to.
I actually will. It'll be
pull
easier
up that
now
pattern for you guys.
because I
It's a
won't
free
feel
pattern.
like I'm kind of shoved in a little hole. I guess
I do think I want to try quilting it myself.
like free motion or
No, I saw a
Lines.
lady do zigzag. She started on a small quilt. She was showing it on a small quilt. This is the quilt pattern. It's by Material Girl Quilts, windmill quilt, and it's a free pattern. I found it on Pinterest.
it's very pretty.
It's very pretty.
I really love it.
I also think it'd be fun just to do this random. Like, instead of having each square. And I went back and forth at first, but I didn't even test out random because I was like, I'm just going to go with it. But to have maybe just like one solid here and then the rest of it be random would be kind of cool.
True.
Still have it white here, but these guys
Right.
being scrappy.
I don't know. I kind of like the way.
But that would, I
too.
feel like, take more time to do it that way too. Because this has been kind of
Possibly.
nice.
Well, yeah, because of the way they're put together, you'd have to really think about it, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I've only had to rip out one, and it was my second one that I did. But
Good.
yeah, I think I'll try quilting it myself. Not free motion. I'm not gonna do that yet. I don't think.
No.
I'm gonna do that on some like really small things first.
I was gonna say when I first started doing it, I started on placemats, and you gotta get a rhythm for that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's I wouldn't start on a big quilt, that's for sure, because maneuvering that under there, it's not. It's a workout too.
Yeah.
So
The tutorial I saw, she actually had like that kind of marker that like marks lines in the quilt. Like, I don't even know how it works. Like, I don't know if it's like a rotary thing where then there's like not folds, but there's dents there, and then that's where you quilt.
oh,
on
the
it.
hair marker.
Yeah, that.
Oh, I use that
What
a
is
lot.
that?
It's
Show me what that is.
okay. It's right here.
Oh, it's like a bone fold.
It is basically that's what
Oh,
it is, but it
well,
works
that
so
I-
well. I've used it before, but not as much as I did.
She just went through and did. She had like a small. It was like
It
a small
works
flag quilt. She
so
did.
well. Let me show
Yeah,
you.
and she just went along with her long ruler and did lines like every 1.5 inches or so,
I
2
just
inches,
wrote.
and then she did that down the
How did I
center
do
and
it?
did
Sorry, I didn't
zigzags.
get my glasses on, but
So it was just zigzag.
it works so well when you're doing it, little things like this. I just used the ruler and marked it with this. It's a hair
She
marker.
did a full quilt. So.
I actually use this to stuff things too.
And fold and poke corners
Yeah.
out.
I have 2 of them.
I'm fine. I have
You have this
the,
one?
No, I've got the Martha Stewart bone.
This is
folder.
pretty sharp.
Yeah. It's up to you.
I have 2 of them. I'll let you have one. I don't need to have 2 of them. One of
No.
them's fine. So, but I have been using it to mark these little ones, and it works very well. when I have my glasses on. I mean, I can see it right now.
Yeah.
It works
That's
very
pretty
well.
cool.
So it puts a nice crease in there, and you can see it when you're quilting. So it, you know, if you're adverse to using a marker, which I kind of am, so
I am, yeah.
It's
I
been-
think that's coming back at people right now, the friction ones.
I've heard that anyway.
Yeah. But I've
Not all
seen
of them
it a
do.
lot
Some of them
lately.
you can, but I'm not gonna wash these bags. That's a big thing why I use that, because I'm not gonna mark something that is either heat erasable or whatever that can come back at you. Not for my
Right.
bags. If you want to do water soluble on a quilt, I wash my quilts, so that'll go
Yeah.
away. But you do you, man. You know, whatever
Yeah.
works for you. But
I don't know, I've got to test out. Like, I was thinking last night I have the best friend's quilt that I haven't had quilted yet, but maybe I'll quilt that myself for a tester. But I kind of really love that quilt too, though, so.
Yours turned out. I mean, they're beautiful quilts.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll think of a project
yeah,
to
I'm
start
gonna
on
actually
to start
send,
quilting
I'm gonna
my own.
actually send that one to the quilter, I
Okay.
think. Just
Yeah.
because it's paper pieced and there's like a bazillion
Oh, that's
pieces
true.
into it.
Yeah, it was paper pieced.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna send that one off and have it densely quilted. So we'll keep you guys posted on my room. Oh, I got some stuff at the antique store yesterday.
Yeah.
And my Goodwill find. So I have this kind of stuff in my this is really hard to find now around here. It's the daisy stuff. It's what I use for the coaster. But I found 2 of these yesterday, and I'm gonna make one into a pin cushion. And then
Antique store or Goodwill?
at an antique store. I found 2, and they weren't terribly priced. So we did hit an antique mall before we came home, but I love them. So I'll make that one into a pin cushion, and then use this for little tools or something. But they're cute. Just go in my room. I've been having fun. I've actually rearranged some stuff in here, and I can get lost in that for like days, basically,
Yeah.
because it's kind of my passion. I like decorating my sewing room as much as being in here. So, and then I had a just unbelievable at Goodwill, because I don't think I've ever seen one of these at Goodwill ever. They had a whole bunch of them. They had tons. These were the colors that I like, and they're not
That
all.
was in town here, right?
Yeah, here in town, they're not all perfect. This one's kind of burnt. I don't care because it's green, and I have a harder time finding a really good green. This one is probably my favorite.
Yeah, that one's cool.
And then I found, because we use these for coasters, I found this to go on Evie's desk.
I think I have one that's that color.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And then this one, I just love it.
You
Just
can find
like-
patterns to make these online for free,
They
but
don't
they
have
are.
this, and they don't have this patina on them.
Well, no, and they're hard. They're
This one's so cute. It's got the little
Tiny.
flower in it. I hadn't seen that shape before. But then they had this.
that one's cool.
It just screams Easter Bunny to
Yeah,
me.
it's springy.
So I haven't. This I will block, by the way, when I've washed them.
Yeah,
They had a funky smell to them, but
as they do.
they do when you get them at antique stores too.
Yeah.
Old kitchen smell. So I kind of rinsed them out by hand and then dried it. But I will wet this and starch it, and then I will block this. But I love this one. It's so pretty. It's in pretty darn good condition. I love the patina these take on after they've, been used. And those were my fun antique and Goodwill finds for the...
I haven't thrifted in the new year at all.
Well, somebody in our family has been sick. My daughter's been sick, my older, for as long as her dad has. This stuff is just hanging on
Yeah.
to everybody. He's been to the doctor twice, and they said, well, people are just having this horrible cough
That just stays.
for months.
And it's been that way at her preschool since like
And it kind of
October too. And it'll just like
amps
cycle through
up,
the family and cycle back through. The younger class at her preschool, they actually canceled the other day because most of the kids were out. And I think it was a matter of like then there weren't parents because
Right.
there's parent volunteers there.
So I hope y'all are well, weller than the people here. And then
Evie was fine. She just had a fever for like 4 days. And then she would put on a concert in the living room, and then she would crash.
It'll be fine for a while, and then it'll start to go away, and then come back again. And
it's our weather changing constantly too, and the heat running constantly, and
I refuse to get sick. I don't get sick.
La-ti-da. We do. Well, I was telling my husband because I made quesadillas last night, and she didn't eat hers, and I was like, well, Daddy will probably eat it, and he's like, I don't really want to dance with the devil on that one because he didn't want to get sick. And I'm like, I don't really have that. Like, I'm with her so often, and I'm sleeping in her bed so often that it just happens. But I was like, not only that, the other day she tricked me, and normally I know better, but she was like, can I see in your mouth? I'm going to look at your teeth. And normally I know better, and so I opened my mouth because I was like, she's probably just interested in that. Shoved her finger right in my mouth
because we
and laughed hysterically.
Constantly tell her, don't put your hands in your mouth.
Yeah, but
like
she's...
I don't know, 100 times a day she's probably told that.
And the next morning, of course, she woke up with like
101
fever, and I was like,
that is dancing with the little devil. What the heck?
Well, that was him. He didn't want to eat after her. But for me, I'm like, well, she's stuck her finger in my mouth, so like I really don't even. And of course, the next day
I think it builds your immune system.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Knock on wood.
My neighbor said that her doctor told her that their pediatrician said that it's totally normal, and then usually after kindergarten they'll taper off, and that has been the case with her family, because she was sick all the time in daycare. But then after kindergarten,
your immune system builds up a little bit.
Maybe stop putting their fingers in their mouth as much. Hopefully.
Really?
Well, I don't know. Stop doing.
I don't think that's
stuff.
The case. No. I think you just when my husband works for a hospital system, and when he was first there, he was sick a lot, like all the time, and then it slowly kind of got better. Now apparently he's just going to be sick nonstop.
Well, we also took her for a checkup on Monday, and then it was the next day. No, it was 2 days later.
That's true. You were in the cesspool of germs. Yeah.
And so I was like, I took her in to check up on her old ear infection, and then we came back with Lord knows what at this point. But
some horrific.
Everybody at preschool has it though, and it's the same like MO. Because we have like a parent feed that we're just texting constantly, and it's like, all right, well, so and so's down now, and fun stuff.
So we're gonna do the little tutorial. I'm gonna try anyway.
Yeah, on how she attaches her granny squares. I saw. Did you have another granny square that you did? The blue ones?
Well, those are the ones I was gonna show.
Oh, that you were gonna show the tutorial on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and then
if we can figure out how to attach it, we will. But if not, we'll just do it separately.
I very much know how to attach it.
Oh, then we're going to try to do that, because then there's not 2 videos out there, so.
Okay. So, follow us here. Follow us on Instagram. She's at CraftyCottageStitches, and I'm at White House Stitchery. I have
I really have
Etsy
been
shop,
trying to.
White House Stitchery.
Really have been trying.
Yeah, she's been posting more. I've been posting a little bit too.
Yeah.
Usually with my kitty.
Melanie.
Oh, yes.
We did not. Melanie call.
Her name?
Yes.
Yes.
We did not get your email. You did notify us for that you'd won, but we don't have your email, so can you re-email it? The only thing that came across was
your YouTube comment saying you had emailed.
So if you could please, she'll put the email below. Email us again with your email address,
or message us directly on Instagram.
Yeah, you can do Instagram too. That's the quickest way to do it.
So we can get you your Etsy card.
Yeah, either Heather or I. Go ahead and just message us. We should have said that right up, straight up.
Totally forgot.
But our other winner got a hold of us, and she did.
Well,
Melanie
she got
did.
a hold of us. It was just we didn't get the email address.
I don't know.
So.
I looked through, and it's like I don't know if I missed it or.
I don't know how we would have. It's not in the junk.
No,
it could have just been something funky, or who knows.
So get a hold of us, and we will get you that gift card.
Yep.
Was there anything else?
I don't think so. Are we here before Valentine's Day? I think we are.
I don't
We're back
know.
before Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
it would be right
It's
before.
still January somehow, so
This has been the longest month.
it always is.
But it's okay. It's okay because I'm finishing up with work. I probably have 1 or 2 more houses, and then I'll be able to concentrate on getting my room done
and making stuff.
and making stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we want to do. So
All right. Well, go Lions.
yeah, go Lions. We have.
Hopefully they win tonight.
I
and
hope
they'll
they
be in the
do.
Super
We're
Bowl.
gonna. I'm not a football watcher, but we're
Yeah.
gonna cheer those Lions on. They need to make it to the Super
It's
Bowl.
super exciting, and even my husband now, he's like, I'm not even stressed at this point because it's just really, really cool that they've gotten to this point. He's always been a Lions fan. His grandma was a
He's
huge
from
Lions
Michigan,
fan.
so-
Yeah. And so it's really exciting.
It is exciting.
Hopefully they make it to the Super Bowl. That'd be really cool.
First time ever, right?
I don't think they've never even made it to this point.
Awesome.
They had never won a playoff game, or they hadn't won a playoff game in over 30 years, I think, or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So like most of the players on the team are not even old enough to have been alive the last time they won a playoff game. So it's a big deal. Even
Does
Evie
that
dresses
mean
up.
we're
We've been
all
wearing the
just,
same
like,
outfit every single time they've played. I have our clothes all clean and ready for the game later.
That's
He's
cool.
got a little
Now she has her little
Excuse
pom
me.
poms for her
her pom
hair.
poms. We have our little. I got him Lions Little People, Mattel Lions Little People for.
Have you guys seen those?
They're
They're so cute.
For
You gotta
Christmas.
order them for your team.
And
we have Seahawks.
Yeah,
and
and
she
Evie
has
does, too.
she has a little set of Seahawks that Grandpa got her. So
And I had found a little vintage football player, like glass football player at Goodwill, and I painted him Lions colors. We call him Little Hutch. And he's up on our mantle right now because that's my life at the moment.
it's totally
They'll
not
get-
mine.
Then
I'm
they'll get
gonna-
put away.
But
for-
we're rooting for them because it'll be fun.
Yeah.
He is a major football fan, so
So he's just
kind
thrilled
of
at this
you
point.
guys know we've said that's kind of their life until
Yeah.
Super Bowl, and then it's like, okay, buddy, you got work to do around the
Yeah,
house,
next weekend I'm
so
like, we've got a birthday party, we have a preschool event, like.
no more excuses.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully this is where we're attaching a tutorial. So we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Hello, I'm going to try to show you how to do this. I put a slip knot in the yarn that you're using to join. I'm doing it with a different color so you guys can see how cool it looks. So what I do is I slip stitch it on to the chain 1 in your corner, this between your 2 sets of 3. So I just slip stitch this on like that. Now this is the only fiddly part. So I come over here to this one, same thing, and you slip stitch this on, which is a little bit fiddly just to get them together.
And that's the chain 1 space in that
And
square
it's,
too.
yes. And so the only thing you really need to do, like any chaining, is you make sure you're working in the same stitch back and forth. So then I go back over here to this side and I slip stitch, and you're going to finish the slip stitch. And I work basically side by side. I don't hold them up. And you keep your same tension that you normally would. So you're going to the direct same stitch over here, and you slip stitch all the way through. And you'll see that it's starting to come together. And you go back to the other side, and you keep your normal tension so they lay, and it lays nice and flat. So then you go back to the other side. And about the only thing you really need to be is make sure you're alternating, because you'll see this cool braid in a second. So you go back over here and go back and forth. So this is the first one in this next set of 3. Slip stitch. This is the first one on this side. And just make sure that you're, I normally do this on my lap. I'm having a hard time trying to show you guys. You just slip stitch. Go over here. Just alternate back and forth. Keep your normal tension. And you just work your way all the way to the end. Sorry, holding it away from me and this feels weird, but, and then you get this cool effect.
Like alternating braided
Yeah.
effect.
And
it's nice and flat. Then.
It is nice and flat, you can see. And on the other side, you see that it's just super simple. And you just work your way back and forth all the way to the end. It's as simple as that. So slip stitch there, slip stitch on that side, all the way up. And there you go. That is it. And that's what you end up with. This normally wouldn't be as loose, but when I'm trying to hold it away from me, because it just lays nice and flat. And if you do, I think it's cool in the other colors too.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it's really pretty. So I hope this helps.
All right.
Right.
See you next time.
Bye.